Welcome to Surviving Sin City. I'm your host, Tiffani Neilson, and we are live in Las Vegas. I've got Brian Pfeiffer here with me today. How's it going, Brian?
It's good.
Thank you for being on the show. I mean, Brian Pfeiffer, he's a big deal here. Surreal Night Life.
Well, thank you. That's very nice of you to say.
So how are things going?
It's going pretty good. You know, this is kind of like the off season in Vegas, November, December. So this is a time we're ramping up for next season, coming up with some new ideas and some concepts to gear up for the upcoming busy season, which pretty much starts in about March.
Well, I know you are currently hosting at Hakkasan mostly, right?
I do. I have a deal with Hakkasan, kind of an exclusive deal, because I helped open the place, and I've been with, well, what used to be AMG is now called the Hakkasan Group, and I've been with that group particularly since Wet Republic opened, which is, we're going on about 7 or 8 years now. So I do a lot of work with Wet Republic, Hakkasan, but I also have a contract with every club and pool in Las Vegas now.
Wow, that's awesome. We'll have to have another discussion about all this and some ideas that I have too. So are you going to be working with Wet Republic this summer?
Absolutely, yeah. It'd be interesting to see this summer how Wet Republic's one of the main pools in Vegas. You have Wet Republic, Encore Beach, Daylight, Marquee Day Club. Those are pretty much the main ones. Dre's Beach is kind of a player now, but they're really, I don't know of any new pools coming this year. So it's kind of going to be the same.
That's kind of odd, right?
Yeah, well,
usually you have a couple that open.
Well, since I've been out here, there's been about 4 major new clubs that have opened. You have Hakkasan, you have Light, you have Dre's, and now Life. That's all been in the last year and a half, but the pools really haven't progressed into any new type venues. Dre's Beach was the last big one, and now the next big spot is going to be the Omnia, which is at Caesars, but that's not going to be a pool venue. So
can you tell me a little bit more about that and everyone else about that?
Yeah, I mean, from what I know, it's going to be a big player. I hear it's going to be a large club on the scale like an XS or a Hakkasan. I know they're going to do EDM most of the nights. So you're probably looking at an interesting situation where this will be the first time within that group, Hakkasan group, where you've had basically 2 competing clubs. You're going to have Hakkasan with their DJs, and then you're going to have Omnia with their DJs, and everybody's going to be kind of internally they're going to be kind of competing with each other, which is
very true.
Unique.
It's good, but it's also very difficult for the people that work there.
Yeah, well, the Wind pulled it off when they had XS going and they had Surrender going. There were kind of 2 EDM clubs in the same venue.
EDM is electronic dance music for anybody that is still a little behind in the music
EDM.
change.
We're talking about the Calvin Harrises and the Tiestos and the Aviciis and the David Guettas. The stuff.
And these guys are making some money, right?
Well, yeah, from what I understand, the contracts are pretty ridiculous out here in Vegas. We're talking, for one show, anywhere from $200,000 to $300,000 for some of these big
That is insane, right? I mean, it makes me want to start DJing.
Yeah, well, obviously it's all about what the DJ can bring to the table as far as the draw goes. If the DJ is able to bring 9,000 people into a venue, well, then he's worth that much, because at the end of the day, that another venue maybe down the street that's just as good doesn't have the big name DJ, and they're not doing nearly as many people. So
and personally, if I have to decide which club I'm going to go to, I'm going to look at who's DJing.
Exactly. So these big EDM DJs, electronic dance music DJs, they have radio hits just like a band would have back in the 1980s. The Bon Jovis of the world would have a song on the radio. Well, now these DJs produce a song, and that's what brings them the fame. They just need that one big track that takes them to the next level, and then what happens is all the producers out there that actually make music and design music, they'll start giving them like the hits, and once they're on that level, then the hits are just going to keep flowing.
It's kind of different versus rock, because in rock music it's they have the one-hit wonder and then they're pretty much done.
Yeah.
But now it's they have the one-hit wonder with techno and EDM, and it's everybody loves it. They want to copy the sound. Everybody wants to do the remix. Yep. It's then it's steady progression. Once you get your first big track, then it opens your career up.
Absolutely, yeah. I can think of one DJ in particular. I remember when his one big song, Afrojack, came out, was "Take Over Control." You remember that?
Oh yeah.
When that came out, I mean, he went from being really a nobody, and within months he was one of the top DJs in the world. Well, is he really one of the top DJs in the world, or did he just have one of the top hits in the world? You know, but he's actually come a long way. I've followed Afrojack for probably 4 or 5 years now, and you know, his sets back, you know, 3-4 years ago I wasn't real impressed with, but he's gotten a lot better, and I think that probably just comes with the fact that he's kind of had to up his game because he is getting so much money, you know, for these events that he's doing now, and he's got to be really good. You know, you got to perform when you're delivering a $250,000 2-hour set. You know,
and I've seen that not happen with some DJs that are getting paid that, and they totally bomb their set, and I'm in shock when it happens, but it does happen. It's crazy. Yeah,
when you hear a train wreck from a guy getting that kind of money, it's a little interesting. But you know, sometimes I even wonder if these guys are even DJing. To be honest with you, I mean, I've heard some of these guys over and over again, and I wonder if some of this stuff is maybe just a CD, because it's such a repetitive pattern. Because you know, being out here and being in the scene like we are, you know, some of these guys I'm seeing, you know, 30-40 times a year. So I've probably seen Tiesto 40 times this year. So
well, you know, we wonder if, like, you know, the pop stars and everything are actually singing the songs. Yeah. We're wondering if they're actually DJing the songs too.
I'm not going to go point any fingers, but you know, let's just say it's a lot of the same songs back to back to back. So
you know, you guys have to switch it up. Give us something original. Anyway, so SLS doesn't have a pool, do they?
SLS has a pool. It's like, I think it's called Foxtail.
So Foxtail is the pool there.
Yeah. I don't think it's a major player. You know, they have, you know, when it opened, I think they tried to make a big deal out of it, and it really never took off. I don't think someone was going to go out of their way and not go to either like Encore Beach or Wet Republic or Dre's Beach or even Daylight to go over there. It wasn't like, you know, it was such a big deal that people would like change their whole weekend plans to go there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, that's kind of the whole feeling I got with the SLS. I like the club life. I like Foxtail. Sayers Club's pretty cool, but it's not such a big draw. Like,
I feel like when you go to rehab, you have to like prepare for it the night before. You have to be ready for it the next day because you're gonna have a hangover. It's like
the draw is just it's a little bit different. I mean, you know, it's really hard for, you know, a place like the SLS. I mean, they just did land Steve Angelo, but you know, to get the really big talent like the Aviciis, the Guettas, the Calvin Harrises, those guys are all tied up into long-term contracts with the groups they're with. I think I've heard Avicii's tied up until 2017 with the Wim Group. Yeah.
Wow.
So we're talking, you know, 5 years that these guys are getting locked up for that long.
But locked up with that kind of paycheck for that long? Okay. Yeah.
Nobody's complaining on that side of the fence, including the agents, I'm sure. But yeah. So yeah, other than that, you know, that's been one of the newer spots that have opened. Definitely been had some good nights there with some good clients, and people seem to like the venue. I haven't been to the pool yet. Next summer, definitely check it out. They didn't even open up till Labor Day, so that's kind of the tail end of the.
I haven't been to Foxtail yet either.
Yeah. So
I was too busy painting my new set, so I didn't have a chance to.
And by the way, that set looks fantastic. I'm very impressed. Nice work.
Thanks. Yeah, it still needs some minor modifications, but we're on our way.
I like it. It looks great. It looks great.
So what are you doing for Thanksgiving? We got Thanksgiving coming up.
Well, you know, Vegas is not really like a family-oriented city. Okay.
Well, you can come to my Thanksgiving. I know you're from Chicago, so
yeah. So
I believe like to come to my Thanksgiving. I'm having a big Thanksgiving.
Is it going to be on Thursday?
Yeah.
Okay, great. I would love to.
With gravy, turkey, a little bit.
Absolutely. I got invited to an industry Thanksgiving on Wednesday. You know, Thanksgiving weekend is always an interesting weekend in my business, in the promotions and hosting business. In a city like Chicago, where I'm from, and I have a successful company for many years, the Black Wednesday is like almost like a New Year's. It's a big deal. You know, everybody.
You know Mika Milan, don't you?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah, she's from Chicago as well. I think she's tuned in and listening today. So that night is like a New Year's. It's like a big deal. Like, I can remember back in, like, you know, the mid 2000s, just so excited about Black Wednesday. We do a theme party and making a big deal. But in Vegas, you know, it's not really a tour. It's more of a tourist city, and it's, you know, it's not as big a deal here. You know, right. So it is. You know, it'll be busy on Wednesday night. You know, people locals and stuff will want to go out, but it's not like it is in other cities. Like, I know, like the mid markets of the world, the Black
Dallas
Friday, they probably don't want to go shop like everywhere else. They're like, let's go to the bar. It's Friday.
Everybody's going out Wednesday, then they spend the day with their family, hungover Thursday, and then back in the normal weekend.
Maybe people that have taken the weekend off are going to come to Vegas so that they can celebrate the weekend or something like that.
Yeah, I had a few people coming in on Thanksgiving, which I was kind of surprised with, but it's pretty cool. So yeah, it's exciting. You know, I'm just glad that you know, we're not sitting in Chicago weather.
I know, it's cold in New York. I saw New York.
New York,
Chicago. Very
Chicago.
cold.
I saw a picture of Buffalo on the internet today, and I think they got like 4 feet of snow somewhere. I was like, oh my gosh.
Well, before we get to our next guest, is there any other dates you want to throw out there? Do you have any upcoming events? Or?
Well, the biggest thing I wanted to kind of bring up to everyone was I got the new website just getting ready to launch. We're still tweaking out some bugs. The SurrealNightlife.com website is the one that I'd like you guys all to check out when you get a chance.
SurrealNightlife.com.
Yeah, it's really cool. We're going to be adding a forum to it for Chicago, LA, Las Vegas, and Miami. We're also going to have basically like a presence in every city. So it's going to be a real nice go-to site to like find out what's going on in like all the major markets. I mean, I think the biggest markets as far as parties go are Chicago, Las Vegas, LA, and Miami. So you're going to have it all under one website, and you know, I'm really excited about bringing this to the map.
And so, Brian, thank you so much for being a guest on the show.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
And please check out SurrealNightlife.com.
Thank you.
And we'll be back in just a few minutes. More Surviving Sensation.